Are you finding yourself avoiding the garden lately? That green space that used to bring you joy now feels like a mountain of never-ending tasks? You're not alone, and there's a simple secret to getting that joy back. Welcome to Don't Do This Guide, where we help you avoid common gardening mistakes. Today, we're tackling a sneaky problem that affects even the most passionate gardeners' burnout. So stick around, and let's make sure your garden remains your sanctuary, not a source of stress. Gardening can be demanding, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's a hobby that asks a lot from us, whether we're new to the world of plants or seasoned green thumbs. The early mornings, the heavy lifting, the constant attention to detail. Sometimes it feels like the garden is a living, breathing entity that needs us more than we need it. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, nature has its own plans. A sudden storm, a late frost, or a swarm of pests can undo weeks of hard work in a single day. It's easy to feel powerless when the elements seem to conspire against your best intentions. When we push ourselves too hard, the joy can quickly turn into overwhelm. The garden, once a place of peace, can start to feel like just another item on a never-ending to-do list. You might find yourself dreading the chores you once loved, or feeling guilty for not keeping up. Maybe you started the season full of energy, but now the weeds multiply, the to-do list grows, and you dread stepping outside. That's gardening burnout. It creeps in slowly, often disguised as simple fatigue, until one day you realize you're avoiding the very space you once cherished. It sneaks up on you, just like a late frost. One moment, you're planning your next planting, and the next, you're staring at wilted leaves and wondering if it's all worth it. One day you're happily pottering, the next you're staring out the window dreading the garden. The shift can be subtle, but it's real. And it's more common than you might think. Social media and glossy magazines can make it seem like everyone else's garden is thriving, while yours is struggling. It's easy to compare yourself to others and feel like you're falling short, even when you're doing your best. Recognizing these signs is the first step to overcoming them. Burnout isn't a sign of failure, it's a signal that you care deeply and maybe you just need a new approach. We've all felt the pressure to have a perfect plot or a bountiful harvest, but perfection is an illusion, especially in the garden, where so much is out of our control. Remember, gardening is also about community and sharing. Sometimes the best moments come from swapping stories with fellow gardeners or sharing a handful of homegrown tomatoes with a neighbor. But gardening should be a source of pleasure, not pressure. It's meant to be a retreat from the stresses of daily life, not another source of stress. It's about connecting with nature and enjoying the process. The feel of soil between your fingers, the scent of fresh herbs, the simple act of watching something grow, these are the real rewards. Take time to notice the small victories, a new bud, a visiting butterfly, the satisfaction of a weeded bed. Celebrate progress, not perfection. If you're feeling weighed down, take a step back and remember why you started gardening. Was it for beauty, for food, for peace, or simply for the joy of being outdoors? Recall the joy of sinking your hands into the soil, the satisfaction of a sprouting seed, the peace of a quiet moment in your green space. These moments are the heart of gardening, and they're always there, waiting for you to rediscover them. Sometimes all it takes is a pause, a cup of tea among the flowers, a few deep breaths, or simply listening to the birds to reconnect with what you love about your garden. In the next chapters, we'll share practical ways to prevent and overcome gardening burnout. You're not alone, and there are simple steps you can take to bring the joy back to your gardening journey. We'll cover setting realistic goals, breaking tasks into manageable chunks, and rediscovering joy in the journey. You'll learn how to work with your garden, not against it, and how to make space for rest as well as growth. Gardening isn't a competition. It's about creating a space that brings you peace and joy. Your garden is unique, just like you, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be wonderful, and that's something worth cherishing. So let's take this journey together and find new ways to nurture both our gardens and ourselves. Let's talk about setting realistic goals. In gardening, as in life, the journey is just as important as the destination. It's easy to feel inspired by beautiful gardens in magazines or online, but it's important to remember that every lush landscape started with a single seed and a simple plan. It's easy to get swept up in grand plans when spring arrives and gardening catalogs tempt us. The glossy pages are filled with endless possibilities, rare seeds, exotic plants, and dreamy garden layouts. Suddenly, your imagination runs wild and you want to transform your entire yard overnight. We imagine lush beds and tranquil corners, but remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a thriving garden. Those vibrant flower beds and peaceful nooks you admire took years of patience, learning, and small, consistent efforts to create. Trying to do everything at once leads straight to burnout. When you take on too much, gardening can quickly shift from a joyful hobby to a stressful chore. Overwhelm sets in, and you may find yourself dreading the very thing that once brought you peace. Instead, focus on progress, not perfection. Every small step you take is a victory. Whether it's planting a single seed or clearing a tiny patch of weeds, each action moves you closer to your vision. Assess your time, energy, and resources honestly. Maybe you only have an hour on weekends, or perhaps your budget is tight this season. That's okay. Work within your means and set goals that fit your unique situation. Remember, gardening is meant to enrich your life, not exhaust you. By being realistic about what you can do, you'll avoid frustration and keep your enthusiasm alive. Start small and expand gradually. Maybe you begin with a single raised bed, a few pots on the patio, or a tiny herb garden by the kitchen door. As you gain confidence and experience, you can add more beds, try new plants, or experiment with different layouts. Tackle one bed, one border, or even just one corner at a time. Focusing your energy allows you to see real progress, which is both motivating and rewarding. Break big projects into smaller, manageable tasks. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the idea of transforming your whole garden, divide your goals into bite-sized pieces. For example, plan to clear weeds from one section this week, plant seeds in another next week, and mulch a third area after that. Instead of, I need to weed the whole patch, try, I'll spend 30 minutes on this row. Setting a timer can help you stay focused and prevent fatigue. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in short, dedicated bursts. Gardening tasks are never truly finished. There's always something to do. Plants grow, seasons change, and new challenges arise. That's part of the beauty of gardening. It's a living, evolving process. Embrace the cycle and let go of the need to have everything done. Allow yourself to enjoy the quiet moments, watching a bee visit a flower, feeling the sun on your face, or simply breathing in the fresh air. Enjoy the process, celebrate small victories, and adjust your goals as needed. Each harvest, each bloom, and each completed task is a reason to smile and a step forward on your gardening journey. Setting realistic goals isn't limiting. It's setting yourself up for long-term joy. When you pace yourself, you create space for learning, growth, and genuine satisfaction. Create a sustainable gardening practice that brings you happiness for years to come. Your garden will flourish, and so will your love for tending it. So grab a notebook and start planning your garden, one achievable step at a time. Remember, every great garden begins with a single, thoughtful action, and with patience and care, your small steps will lead to big rewards. Now, let's break down those gardening tasks into bite-sized pieces. A job feels lighter when you tackle it in small, manageable chunks. Instead of dedicating a whole Saturday, try an hour in the evening or 30 minutes during lunch. You'll be surprised how much you can accomplish in short bursts. Match tasks to your energy and the season. Mornings for watering, evenings for planting. If you're energetic, tackle bigger jobs. If you're tired, do something gentle like deadheading. Keep gloves and a trowel by the door for quick, spontaneous garden moments. Gardening isn't a race, it's about finding your own rhythm. By breaking tasks down, you'll make the work less daunting and more enjoyable. You might even start looking forward to those peaceful pockets of time outside. Let your garden time be a source of calm, not stress. Let's talk about embracing imperfection in the garden. Those magazine-perfect gardens? They're often the work of a team and lots of chemicals. For most of us, chasing perfection is exhausting and misses the point. A garden is meant to be a little wild, a little messy, a reflection of nature. Give yourself permission to let go of perfection. Embrace the wonky carrots, self-seeded wildflowers, and quirky tomatoes. Imperfections give your garden character and make it unique. Don't wage war on every weed. A few can actually help biodiversity. Experiment with design. Mix plants, let them spill over and break the rules. A bit of chaos creates abundance and interest. Gardening is a creative process, not a science experiment. Relax, have fun, and don't fear mistakes. That's how we learn and grow as gardeners, and as people. Celebrate your garden's quirks. They're what make it yours. Here's a surprising tip. Spend less time working in your garden. It might sound counterintuitive, but sometimes the best thing you can do for your garden and yourself is to simply pause and enjoy it. Gardens aren't just about productivity or ticking off chores. They're about creating a space for peace, reflection, and joy. We get so caught up in the endless to-do list, watering, weeding, pruning, planting, that we forget to simply enjoy being there. The garden can quickly become another source of stress if we let it, rather than a sanctuary from the busyness of daily life. Schedule downtime in your garden. No weeding, no pruning, just being. Give yourself permission to sit quietly, to let your mind wander, and to soak in the atmosphere. This is your time to recharge, not to add more tasks to your plate. Make a cup of tea, grab a book, and find a comfy spot outside. Let the gentle breeze and the rustle of leaves be your background music. Maybe you'll even find inspiration in the pages you read, or simply enjoy the feeling of being surrounded by nature. Listen to the birds as they sing, feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, and breathe in the fresh, earthy scents that only a garden can offer. These small moments of mindfulness can help you feel more grounded and connected to the world around you. Watch the bees and butterflies as they flit from flower to flower, and notice the clouds drifting lazily across the sky. There's a whole world of activity happening in your garden, even when you're not working in it. Allow yourself to be present and soak in the beauty. Try meditating or simply sitting in silence, letting your senses take in the colors, textures, and sounds all around you. This mindful presence can be deeply restorative. Even a few minutes of quiet in the garden can be restorative. You don't need hours. Just a short break can help you reset and return to your day feeling refreshed and more at ease. The more you observe, the more attuned you'll become to your garden's rhythms. You'll start to notice which plants are thriving, which ones need a little extra care, and how the light changes throughout the day. You'll notice subtle changes and early signs of issues, like a new bud, a visiting ladybug, or a leaf that's just starting to curl. These details are easy to miss when you're rushing through chores, but they're part of what makes gardening so rewarding. So put down your tools and give yourself permission to simply be. Let go of the pressure to always be productive. And remember that your garden is a place for you to unwind and reconnect with yourself. Your garden is there to be enjoyed, not just maintained. Whether you're alone or sharing it with loved ones, take time to savor the beauty you've created. You deserve these moments of peace and happiness. Let's talk about simplifying your garden. It's not about removing all your favorite plants or making your space dull. It's about making choices that reduce maintenance and free up time for enjoyment. Choose low-maintenance, disease-resistant, and drought-tolerant plants. Native plants thrive with less effort. Consider shrinking your lawn. Replace part of it with wildflowers, ground cover, or a patio. Raised beds and containers are easier to manage and rearrange. Install irrigation or soaker hoses to save time and water. Simplifying doesn't mean sacrificing beauty. Work smarter, not harder, so you can enjoy your garden more. Let your garden be a place of joy, not endless chores. There you have it, the key steps to keeping joy in your garden and burnout at bay. It's all about a mindful, enjoyable approach to gardening. Subscribe to Don't Do This Guide for more tips, and let us know in the comments. What's your biggest struggle with gardening burnout? Happy gardening, and see you in the next video.